Urban Meyer joining us now via the Cowherd Global Satellite Network, three-time national champ. All right, let's start. I got a bunch of questions today. Let's start with this. The guy just got done finished playing golf with the Gretzkys. And by the way, tell the audience what the Gretzkys think of me. Let's be honest.
Well, the Gretzkys love you, and Wayne Gretzky, the great one, but his wife, we were playing a little skins game, and I felt more pressure playing Alabama or playing against her than I did Alabama.
They're great.
She's a killer.
Yeah, they're great people. So let's start with this. The Big Ten says, listen, we're gonna do conference only. What am I to take with that? Do you agree with that move? Conference only.
100%. It's all about control. Control the environment. Control when you start your off season. Control when you start the season, and more than anything, control the protocols for the safety of the student athletes, because you can do that within a conference. You can't do that multiple conferences. Like, I saw your take the other day about you're politicking to become the president of the NCAA, or which I'd vote for you. You got my vote.
Could I make an argument that it's all about, because college football is so valuable to athletic departments, even if you got 7 to 8 games in, the bottom line this year, you want fewer practices, fewer meetings with 75 people, fewer games, and that if you just everybody got 7, 8 games in, that's enough to pay some bills, and you may have to throw in 2 or 3 buys during the season. Is that being discussed now?
I don't know that. I think it changes every week. I am on conference calls. I talk to Coach Day, Gene Smith regularly. I talk to a lot of colleagues. It changed. Last week was different than this week. But I think the thing that, every once in a while I hear that spring football, and I just don't see how that works. I'd much rather see a shortened conference season, try to get some games in, see how it goes. I mean, it's going to be different in 2 weeks than it is in another 2 months. So it just changes every week, Colin.
I got to ask you about a situation. So I talked about, I want to run for president of college football with Joel Klatt. He beat me on the internet, but I had 5 different plans. And I don't like neutral site games. I like games in Columbus. I like them in Athens. I'm not interested in Nick Saban refusing to go on the road. You were willing to. I love Nick, but he likes these neutral site games so he doesn't have to go to Camp Randall. I'm not into it. Go on the road. I don't like cupcakes. I'll give you 1. I think everybody should play 10 games. I don't care how tough the SEC is. Everybody's conference in the middle and bottom is pretty weak. I don't think we need more than 4 teams. I've never seen the 5th team in the country and thought, oh, wow, they deserve to be number 1. And I think we got too many bowl games. I think you should have 12. I named them off. I don't buy into this. We need to have 40 so the little guy can have a shot. The little guy's not beating Ohio State and Clemson in my lifetime, so I'm not interested. Which one of these bothers you? Which one of these is nonsense? Which one of these don't you buy into?
I do believe that there needs to be uniform scheduling. I do not. I think you should be allowed to play 2 non-Power 5s. I know you have only 1. When I was at Bowling Green, we were 3-0 against the BCS conference schools, the Big 12 and I think it was the Big East at the time. When I went to Utah, we were undefeated against the Pac-12. So, and that was one of the greatest moments of our team. And the only thing I'd say about bowl games is, if this is all about money, yes, I think a lot of that's very legitimate. 33 years ago, I got into this not because of money. I got into it and I coached the little guys. And I think, you're into moments, you're into things that will transform people. You're talking about a kid. You go to Ohio Stadium and find a way to win that game. We went to Northwestern one. We went to Arizona, Oregon, Cal, Texas A&M. I've had players that's to this day they're still talking about. I think that's more important than money. I really do. I know that money drives the train right now. It certainly didn't back years ago. So I just think the purity of the game of football still needs to have a conversation about that. So why would a University of Utah go to Liberty Bowl and play Southern Miss in the first championship in 60 years? Because that transformed people's lives. And you can say it doesn't. I disagree with you. It certainly does.
All right, good stuff. So here's an interesting topic. You have always been a fan of multi-sport athletes. By the way, I'm a big believer in that myself. So Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, they could have gone to baseball. But my argument's always been football's got a cleaner path. You get to be the big man on campus. You get a free scholarship. Baseball doesn't give you free scholarships. Very rarely does a guy get all the money paid for in baseball. Is that the reason? It seems to me that football is winning the battle of the young Patrick Mahomes, Johnny Manziel, I heard, played baseball, Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray. Did you ever recruit against the baseball program to get a quarterback or get a player?
I have, but football usually wins over baseball. Just football, especially college football. Now, if it's a kid that has a chance to go to, get drafted right away out of high school, sometimes we've lost a player or two to that, but normally we'll win. And I've had players try to play both. But I'll tell you this, my son, by the way, is just he had a scholarship for baseball, and he went on to walk on at Cincinnati to play football just because of his love of the game, his love of the locker room and training like a football player. And so it is different. A lot of times football wins. I'm going to say this about the multi-sport athlete. It's ironic. Wayne Gretzky and I just had a long conversation about this on the course. And my experience right now, 85%, I had Adam, our Fox analyst guy, researcher, 85% of the players drafted last year were multi-sport athletes.
Wow.
I'm a multi-sport athlete fan. There's nothing better than a football player that wrestles or plays basketball. For me to go watch that and watch a kid compete, I couldn't get enough of that. So I'm a huge fan of multi-sport athletes.
Did you ever see Patrick Mahomes in high school play?
No, I didn't see him.
I talked to his high school football coach last week, and he said, he goes, listen, he was so good at everything. He was great at basketball. He was great at football. He was great at baseball. And he goes, I think some people just thought, he's just an athlete. He's not all in on football. But, I mean, who, in all the years of recruiting quarterbacks at a high school, you've had a lot of great ones. Who is the single most talented high school quarterback you ever saw, and you literally drove home and said, oh, Lord, that is going to be all-time stuff?
It was Dwayne Haskins. If you talk about pure ability to throw the football, when I went to his junior workout, his right after his junior season, I sat there for 2 hours and watched his kid throw, and he was better than most college quarterbacks that I've ever had in my systems or coached. And he was the one that I remember. I got in my car and I called whoever and said, "This one's done. This one he'll be an NFL quarterback," because he was so well developed in high school.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.